I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Cultworthy. I'm your host, Antonio. And first of all, before I introduce my guest, I just got to put out a quick little story. At the end of June, I was a guest on this gentleman's show. And I kind of was bragging a little bit that I had a couple celebrities lined up for later in the year. And he was like, oh, look at you fucking flexing, right? Maybe one of these days, I'll get a celebrity on my show. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool when it happens, right? 3 days. 3 days after that episode comes out, he drops an email in our chat saying, y'all won't believe this, but Quentin Tarantino's publicist just reached out to me. And apparently, in a few weeks, I'm flying out to LA, not only to watch Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, at the Vista, and stay at the Chateau Marmont. I get to interview Quentin Tarantino for like 2 hours at Pam's Coffee. So, the now reigning king of podcasting, I got my buddy Scott of the Trisha Tarantino podcast on the show.
Well, thank you for having me back. I do remember that conversation. And honestly, I never thought, I was hoping I couldn't get the guy, Kirk, we're going to name him. Kirk Baltz, the guy who gets his ear cut off in Reservoir Dogs, turned me down at the end of season 1 as it wouldn't be high profile enough for him or whatever. It's like, Kirk, you haven't been on shit. What are you talking about high profile enough? And now I got Tarantino. So guess what, Kirk? If you're listening, it ain't happening now, pal. You're not coming
fuck
up.
your ear, man.
Yeah, fuck you, pal. Yeah, I mean, it's bizarre. It has been an absolute insanity that it all happened. That it's actually happened. That I'm actually sitting here talking to you exactly a month after it's happened. It is right. It's crazy that it's been a month since it happened. 2 months since that all was announced, and yeah, it's been a whirlwind. I could never have expected it to go as good as it did, or for him to be as amazing as he was, or for the whole shebang to be as wild as it truly was. And now there's a chance I could be in. As I said, I'm not in the inner circle, but I'm like holding on to the circle from the outside. So I have opportunities that could arise later down the road for interview possibilities for projects, but we'll just have to wait and see if they actually happen. There's, I have a little bit more cachet now, at least, to say, hey, if I want to reach out and ask a person from the Tarantino verse if they'd like to be interviewed, I have this, and all the articles that were spawned from it to now be like, hey, do you want to talk to me, as opposed to some guy who gets his ear cut off in a fucking movie to tell me to go fuck myself, basically.
Right. You can drop a link in the email. And then,
right, exactly.
Yeah, click this
and
link.
Then just like all the stuff that came with it. Yeah. Just it was on Variety 3 times. No big deal. That kind of thing.
Yeah, no big deal. Hey, but here's the thing. Like, okay, all of us are so proud of you, right? All of us in the acolytes of the Church of Tarantino, all of us who know you, who have worked with you and talked with you over the last few years in our podcasting journey, we're all so proud of you. Are we a darker shade of green? Yes, 100% we are. But you did not shit the bed, my friend.
I appreciate that.
That was a stellar interview. It was so good. You did a great job with the editing. Who knows? You might have shot the bed, but you covered it well
I covered
in
myself,
the editing, and that's the thing, is like, I only want you to succeed 100%. But I was listening so closely. It's like, all right, I'm going to listen for every little to see if you like tripped up in your interview, and you didn't, man. Fantastic. I was like honored to listen to that.
I appreciate it. I got to actually give credit to Tarantino. And this isn't some ass kissing thing. We got to sit with him for 2 hours pre. And when I tell you, he made us feel comfortable. He talked as if we had I got a chance to meet two people for the first time, as opposed to like what you were doing now. Like I know that if you were to walk through my office door right here, it would be like you and I have known each other for a long time because we spent time talking and texting. So it wouldn't be like, I'm meeting you for the first time on a blind date. So I got to meet Pat and Devon this way. And it really was like we had known each other for a long time because we've been doing this for 3 years together, right? So
Yeah.
so it wasn't like something brand new. So, seeing these guys, and I just got to see them in the flesh. It was feeling like that with Tarantino. He made us feel so comfortable. And we were sitting there and we were conversing. And then by the time I went to interview him, all the nerves had already been gone. Like him making us drinks and sitting with us and talking with us, and then like complimenting the show and talking to us about the show and talking to them about how he likes them as this and that. It was just like so surreal that by the time the 2 hours had passed, we got the chance to do it. I was already feeling comfortable with him and already had a rapport and kind of like just was zoned out. I was just like zoned in on him. And once I tried to remind myself, no one wants to hear you talk. So I tried to lead every question in so he understood where I was coming from. And then people who hadn't had some little behind the scenes where we had already talked a little bit, they could get some idea of why I was asking questions. And then I just let him fucking go. Like there were a couple of follow-up questions that I let slide because to ask them would interrupt the train of thought he was already on. And I was like, who gives a shit? I can ask this some other time. Let's keep him moving down the path he's going and talking about the things he wants to talk about and have a conversation and get the fuck out of the way. That really was all I was trying to do.
Well, and that's the thing is like, I feel like if I had that opportunity too, I think that I could do a pretty good job because you and I and pretty much everyone in this group, we've heard everything this man has had to say. We know he can talk, right? So we know that we can like just drop the bait in the pond and he'll just run with it and be entertaining. I feel Kevin Smith would probably be the same way too, right?
Yep.
Like,
I think
I'm not saying this.
You have to know
they're not on the same level
interviewing.
cinematically. Yeah, but those two can tell stories, and that's a really important thing. You and I have both had guests on the show where we're like, okay, well, I guess you won't fucking talk, so I will.
Yes,
it's just one of those things that,
and that is hard because you also then have to like, you're talking with a person and you still want to keep this upbeat personality, but in your head you're like, fuck, I've got to carry this thing across the finish line. It's like we're 15 minutes in. This could go another hour. How is this even going to sound in post? It's going to sound like I'm the only person talking, and this other person just, I like that movie. My number two would be that. You're kind of like, oh man.
Whenever I drop a sound bite, if I'm dropping sound bites from the movie in a conversation, you know that my guest kind of shat the bed.
If 75% of the episode is sound bites, pretty good idea. It's the long.
If it's 35 minutes long and 20 minutes of sound bites, it wasn't a good interview.
Well, my favorite part about it was my favorite thing was the next day, and no, your listeners aren't going to know this, but they will now. But I was able to, I was at the Chateau, myself and Pat, we recorded a quick recap because we just wanted to. Like, we were so buzzed. And also it was still fresh on my mind. We kind of want to give people just a little bit of a teaser of what they could expect. So while Pat was getting the equipment to set up, I got a chance to go on and make videos for you guys in our Acolyte chat. And my key that I told everybody was I wanted to secure an opportunity for all of us to get the same opportunity I just had. And without missing a beat, when I was there after the interview, sitting there with Quentin, I said, hey, I just got to ask you a favor. This does not require money. Doesn't require nothing. I said, I would love to, and since you like my Acolyte so much, I would love to be able to see your last film with them at a theater of your choice. I mean, we'll find our way to get there, wherever it is, whether it's in LA, New York, Austin, wherever you decide. And if we could just all have a chance to sit there and watch it, and then and before I got that out, he said, absolutely. And I said, and I would love to be able, and because then afterwards we're going to get together and do like this roundtable first reaction podcast thing. And he goes, and I'll be there. And I was like, whoa. I was kind of like, I mean, I was just hoping he would let us see the movie. I wasn't expecting anything else. Now, again, that's 3 to 4 years down the road.
Yeah,
things can happen, right? Like I'm a very reasonable man. You have young kids. I had young kids. He still has young kids. Anything can happen. He lives in Israel. Shit could happen that could change that. But even if we just all get together and see the movie as our own, as the church, as no one else, our own review, I was like, that's the thing I kind of wanted to bring to everybody. So if it does pull off the way I hope it does, and he said it would, it's, you know what I mean? I really want to be able to give all the people who put their time and effort into my show an opportunity to experience the same thing that myself, Devon, and Pat have had the chance to experience.
And if it doesn't happen, like if he backtracks for some reason, which I don't think he will, we'll go Inglorious Bastard style.
Absolutely we will.
In the fucking theater and burn the motherfucker down, right? And we'll film it.
We'll kick it
and
open
we'll
at
film
the
it.
end.
And he'll be so impressed by that he will write a film based on our exploits. That's my
I like that.
prediction.
I like that option. we just invade the vista. He doesn't even know. We just kick open the doors. Everyone the fuck out.
I can't wait. Now I kind of want it not to happen so we can do that.
I know. There's a little bit of that. Yeah.
I mean, we started off as a church and we'll slowly become like a cult. And then we'll turn into a fucking death cult.
It's the American thing to do right now, my man. Is be
it
a
is,
cult.
right? Yeah. If you're not in a fucking death cult by now, get your life together. I'm fucking serious. All right. So, okay. You were on the show back in December.
Yes.
We did the 12 Days of Quentin, number 2 most popular show of all time.
That's awesome.
For the Cultworthy, yeah. The only episode besides my Diane Franklin interview to break 1,000, so that was great. That's big for me. And
that was big for me until just recently. These numbers, right? I'm like, this is what real people listen to. I'm like, this is way too much.
People love that concept. They can't wait for another one, but I didn't want to wait all the way until Christmas to do something else. So I was going to reach out to you anyway, but now I'm like, since you're a hot commodity, let's get you on the show faster, right? Start fucking smelling that bung.
Well, your episode, I'm editing before I came out with you, your episode of Ranking Tarantino opens up in September. So I don't know when this drops, but the first Friday in September, you and Graham's fighting.
That's
top 5
that's
fighting.
When this drops.
Which we did back in June, right? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. So this will drop around the same time. That's awesome. So what we're doing this time, since we're on the Tarantino theme, I got the Church of Tarantino on the show. I thought it'd be cool to do something similar, but with hitmen. So we're doing top 10 hitmen. Now, I'm not saying they're the best hitmen. I'm saying they're my favorite hitmen in films. And we kind of discussed how we were going to do this. You had a list of prerequisites. I had a list of prerequisites. And as we go through this list, if there's crossover, which I'm sure there will be, we'll just take that conversation of that hitman, move it down to the bottom, and we'll keep on going so we can spend more time with our favorites that are communal, right?
I like that idea. Of course. I mean, it's your show. I'll do whatever. You know what? I'll talk very little and you'll have to drag me through it. How's that?
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for making me work. Now that you are a status symbol, you can just shut the fuck up and just be like, yeah. I'm
going to ride this out for like, I got
work.
Maybe another week left in it. And then it's just back to the old numbers, which is cool. I'm fine with that. I'm kind of like that. I feel like an alternative band. It's like, I liked it when it was just me and the few people. This newfound thing, it's kind of like, I knew the people who liked it because they liked it. Now we got new people in, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they are.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah. I'm waiting for like all the hater comments. You should do a hater comment episode.
Well, I've gotten rid of a few comments on because some people started making these comments about like the Israeli war. So I'm like, dude, this is a podcast interview. Like we didn't talk about any of that. Like that's you can have your stance. I'm fine with it, but not in this comment section. Like this is an interview. Like it's one thing if I'm doing an interview about it. Like then yes, by all means, I've opened up a discussion. But we're just talking about his next movie. And I'm like, why are we having this? I was like, goodbye. Which is, we're not doing that. There's a place and time for being political. As you and I both know. But at the same time, if I just had an interview. Like if I interviewed your daughter how the first day of school, someone's like, "Oh, she's an Israeli supporter." It's like, what? She just went to school. Like, give her a fucking break, man. Take a deep breath.
So my prerequisites, because here's the thing: like some of my favorite hitmen are not good hitmen in the idea of like what a hitman should be. So I kind of went with the idea of skill, style, and sex appeal, and I thought that we could grade our hitmen on those 3 levels. But how I created my list is which movies do I watch the most with these hitmen in? That was my prerequisite. Because there's some pretty fucking good hitmen, but I'm not a huge fan of the movie. So I'm not going to watch it repeatedly. And like I tell everyone on my show, when I rate stuff on Letterboxd, it's in the realm of rewatchability. So if it's 5 stars, it means I'm going to watch that fucker 5 times in a year,
Yeah.
If it's a 1 star, I'm never going to watch it again.
I'm 3 and above. I wore it the first time.
Right. 3 and above is shelf worthy, is what I say. Like if I'm going to watch it at least 3 times in my life, it'll be on the shelf. Otherwise, Tubi, if I want to watch it again, right? It's not going on the list. So that was my prerequisite for the list. And then I kind of have a grading system for the style, the skill set, and the sex appeal. What was your prerequisite?
I overthought it.
Of course you did.
Sorry, I did. I was like, I got to bring my A game to his show. Like, I got to do this. And I'm like, well, I could have just had fun with it. I went over. So I have, I have 5. So the first thing is the character must be on the job working a contract for the majority of the film. My second prerequisite: the character can't be a hitman assassin out for revenge or on a revenge mission. Because then they're not a hitman. This is my prerequisite. Does it fit with yours? Sorry. The character can't be a hitman assassin who has a change of heart and wants to use their skills for good. The character who is employed as a bounty hunter works in a law capacity, therefore is not a hitman assassin. And finally, the character has to have successfully carried out at least one job. That is how I was able to break down, because there's so many. I was like, all right, I got to find how I want to rank this. And so you won't see a couple Tarantino people on here, even the shirt I'm wearing that's a part of the movie I went to see, because it's a revenge. So that's how I did it.
Okay, so, I love that you put that prerequisite in there, because that's one of the main reasons why one of the most obvious ones isn't on my list either, is that the movie is not about them being a hitman. It's a revenge flick. That's a whole different thing. So I think we're simpatico on that one.
Okay, good. So I do apologize to your listeners if you're like, who's this fucking... He talks to Tarantino now. He's a fucking...
No Tarantino hitman.
I overthought it. I'm like, I got to bring my A game to Antonio's show. I got to make sure that I sound like I know what I'm doing. He was like, hey, this is going to be fun. We're going to have sex, style. I'm like, oh, well, I overdid it. So I do apologize if I bring it to a lower level.
No, I like it. You're the Nicolas Cage of podcasting, because now that you're famous, you're not phoning it in. You're going to bring your A game to every bullshit podcast you guest on from now on.
Everyone's going to be critiquing. This asshole got a chance to talk to Tarantino.
100%. All right. Since you're my distinguished guest, I'm going to have you start with your number 10 of favorite hitmen on the list. Who you got?
After I tell you, do you want me to do the skill, the style, my rankings of that too? Or do you want to do that after you've done yours? Same?
We'll both do it together. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So for me at number 10, I have Arthur Bishop, played by Charles Bronson, in The Mechanic. That is my number 10.
Okay. We don't have to push that one back, because that's my number 10 as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good.
Wow. Look at that.
For those that don't know what The Mechanic is, how about you explain?
I mean, The Mechanic is a movie about Charles Bronson is a hitman. He is working. He's kind of like in a syndicate. He works for people. He kills a man who then ends up feeling bad and wants to train his son to become a hitman. The son has no idea that that this guy who's training him is one who kills his father. The syndicate doesn't like the fact that he's trained without their permission. They do a job together. It kind of doesn't go great. At the end of the day, they're celebrating. I think it was over in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And his basically it's an old Sith thing. There's always two, but there can only be one. So the apprentice kills the master. However, the master is very, very skilled and has an idea that just in case he might find out that he killed them. So as he's about to die, he tells the kid that I just because I killed your father, and he was like, I didn't know you killed my father, but actually I kind of want to kill you to replace you type thing. Mm-hmm. So he goes back to America, takes the guy's really cool sports car and looks in the, I think it's the rearview mirror. And it says, if you see this, you have 13 seconds to live or whatever. And all of a sudden the car blows up as he's trying to get out. So it's a pretty cool, for the 70s, that's a fucking pretty cool fucking story. Like, it's a pretty fucking cool twist to a movie that you don't see coming. You're kind of like, you're mad at Charles Bronson for, you're like, dude, what do you fucking suck? How'd you let this guy kill you? But then it was like, you realize he was kind of ahead of it and thought maybe it could happen, and he killed the dude anyway. So Charles Bronson makes it cooler. Jason Statham's version is okay, but he's just not Charles Bronson. And that's not a slight to Jason Statham, but it's fucking Charlie Bronson.
It's fucking Charlie Bronson. And Tarantino favorite, yet never in a Tarantino movie, Jan Michael Vincent. As the trainee. So great one. Okay.
I know him from Airwolf. That's how I know Jan Michael Vincent. That's how old I am, from the old Airwolf days in the 1980s.
Airwolf, Big Wednesday, and The White Line Fever are like my big ones for that. Great guy. Terrible end to his life, but you can look that up on your own.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about this? Arthur Bishop, skill set 1 through 5. What do you think on skill?
I gave him a 3 because while it's cool how he gets him at the end, he got fucking easily killed by his apprentice. Didn't even see it coming. He may have had an idea what happened if he found that he killed his father, but yeah, he slept at the wheel. So I got to give him middle of the road, because I almost gave him a 2, but the blowing up the car at the end, that's a 3. That gives him an extra point.
I gave him a 4 because that whole opening kill is pretty badass, where essentially he stages a gas leak, and then instead of like shooting the guy in the head, his whole skill set is about making these assassinations look like accidents. And that's like what really is cool about him. So I gave him a 4, even though, yeah, he did let his heart get in the way.
And I wonder how much of how he does things is why they, the move or the game, when you play Agent 47 in Hitman, because a lot of it's to set up like these possible accidents as just opposed to killing. And I wonder how much of this movie plays into that options in the game for you to make things look like an accident or poison this and make it look like something else happened besides the person there to kill him.
I mean, I would be willing to bet that it's very much like this podcast. Someone just had a list of hitmen and said, what do we like about these guys? Yeah. Here we go. Agent 47 does this. Okay, style. What do you give him on style? I gave him a 4, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, I gave him a 3 for the 70s. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. A lot of jean jacket and stuff like that. Because there's some other people on here who have some real fucking style. I gave him a 3. Yeah, middle of the road. He's pretty good.
Yeah, that mustache though, that's a point on its own, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But that's why my next number is a little bit higher.
Sex appeal. Yeah, 5 out of 5.
I mean, he is a badass motherfucker. He's confident. He's got the look like he's a bad boy. Women love that. That's sex. I mean, and men want to be him. That's a fucking 5. If women want to fuck him and men want to be him, you're a fucking 5 in my book.
If you give Charles Bronson anything less than a 5 in any movie, go fuck yourself. Is essentially my
I agree with you. Even if he's in a stupid movie, he's still Charles fucking Bronson.
100%. Okay, let's move to number 9. Who you got for your number 9?
I've got Hannah from the movie Hannah.
Nice.
Ooh, I'm going to butcher her first name. Is it Saoirse Ronan? How is her first name said? Do you know?
Saoirse.
So, as I said, I butchered it. So I should have just gone with S. Ronan and just been like cool about it. Guess who I won't be interviewing ever? S. Ronan, because I couldn't say her fucking name.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know. Like, that's a hard one because, like, it is a fact that she is kind of on a vengeance mission, but she also is kind of pre-programmed to take those people out. So it's a mix of both. I'll give it a pass for sure on the prerequisites.
I don't think she realizes her dad has programmed her. She doesn't realize she's on a revenge mission for him and then realizes he's not her dad. So I think he's like, you got to kill her, kill all these people. And then she goes and does it. But then I think it's as she goes through the process, she realizes it's really, she's been programmed by him to kill for him.
Right.
She's almost a Terminator being sent back.
Right. That's why it's like, it's a nice mix of both. It's a very clever way to do that instead of having like the hitman with a heart of gold, right? She's been born and bred to kill. And pre-programmed.
Let me ask you this, because now that we've talked about it, is the Terminator a hitman?
Ooh, that's a good one,
right?
Yeah,
it's because I'm just thinking about now because we had this. Also, I was like, wait a minute, I think the Terminator is a hitman. He may be a robot, but he has a mission.
He does.
He is sent back to kill.
Yeah, he does.
That's a hit.
That's a hit.
Yeah, shit, we could have used that.
It can go in the honorable mention part. I've never considered the Terminator to be a hitman, but I am now.
No, until we just had this 3-second conversation. Like, wait a minute, I think the Terminator's a hitman.
All right, no, I love Hannah, and I just bought that movie today on a Blu-ray steelbook because I already have it on DVD and Blu-ray, and I saw the steelbook. I'm like, well, fuck me, I'm a stupid idiot.
Steelbooks get you all the time.
Dude, they do.
They always get me. Yeah.
There's nothing special about them other than the case, right? And then it goes back to
they always make a cool looking fucking case.
And then I think about like the old days where like when you bought CDs, you'd throw the cases away and put them in that stupid wallet, which I still have all my stupid wallets. And now I'm like, ooh, I want the case because it's so pretty. All right. Okay. So skill set.
For a girl, sorry, that came out wrong. For a young girl, for like a basically a middle schooler age, she kills some pretty advanced people. She's not top of the charts. I'd give her a 3 for her age. She's pretty impressive for the age she's at with what she's able to do. Like, when she becomes more seasoned, if she were to keep this up down the line and get into her 30s, she'll be a 5. She'll be the bride level, that kind of stuff. But right now, as a 12, 13-year-old, she's a fucking 3. And I think that's pretty impressive for someone that age.
I'm going to give her a 4 because a lot of her skill set isn't necessarily killing. It is all of the kind of sneaking and escape skill set that she has, right? Like she's a slippery fish, man. She can get out of any situation. So I think that definitely owes a point. So I'm going to give her a 4 on that one. Style, I feel like style and sex appeal on this one doesn't really work. I will give her bonus points.
Style a 1 because she's got clothes, but she's lived in the woods and trained. Like she doesn't. That's not even in her purview right now. Like she has literally been trained because part of the fun is that she suddenly becomes as she moves with that family through Spain, she starts to become a teenager.
Right.
Up until that point, she's been a killing machine. So now she's kind of like, oh, I should put on lipstick. And she's kind of learning what it's like to be a young girl as opposed to just nothing but train to kill.
Right. And survive.
So, style, a 1. And sex appeal, fucking 0. Like, if she's at least not 20 years old, I'm sorry, but she's a 0. Like, she's a fucking kid.
She's
like,
a kid, right. I'll give her some bonus points because she does kiss a girl. So at least she's got the curiosity, right?
he gives her the Katy Perry bonus.
She does,
points.
yeah. I mean, it's not that we were like trying to talk about this, but you got to give credit where credit's due, right? She kisses a girl. Okay, let's go to number 8 on your list.
Number 8, I have got Nikita from La Femme Nikita, played by Ann P. We're not going to butcher another name, so we'll just leave it there.
Okay, so that's on my list, so we're going to push that back to the conversation.
All right.
That's a hard one. You can't have that. Okay. So you're number 7.
Jackie Coogan, played by Brad Pitt from Killing Them Softly.
Not on my list at all. Let's jump on that.
For skill, I'm going middle of the road, a 3. He's seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously a guy they call on, but he doesn't like to be up close and personal killing. So I can't give him a 5 because most assassins, they say the world's best assassin is someone who can kill up close without basically taking a knife, putting it in someone's throat. That's considered, if you can sneak up on somebody, cut their throat, that's the elite. So he's not in that level, but he's still pretty adept with a fucking shotgun and good with a handgun, and he just likes to kill him gently. So I got to give him a 3 on that one.
I only saw that movie once and I liked it.
I like it a lot. It's a very underrated and underappreciated film, in my opinion. I think it's really well done.
The stylish way it's shot, the actors, because like Ray Liotta and James Gandolfini's in it, right? Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn, I think.
And they both play against type.
Right.
Ray Liotta's like this little bitch. He gets the shit kicked out of him. James Gandolfini's a drunk who can't handle being in the assassin business anymore. Yeah, it's a really well done movie. It's you got a bunch of great heavy hitters in the film, and it's just I don't know, Ben Mendelsohn as a heroin addict. Right. Just fucking great film. Scooter McNairy, the two of them team up. Like, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that one because I only saw it the one time that it came out, and I liked it, but it just never caught me again. So I'm glad we're having this conversation because it can put things on my rewatch list.
Style, I like his style, but I'm gonna give him a 3 because he's in black and a leather coat most of the time, so he looks good and he's got a hair slicked back. But I think it's because it's Brad Pitt. It helps get to a 3, but that's just a regular Gambino, Guido look.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, Brad Pitt's making it look better, right?
Brad Pitt makes everything look better.
Some people make exactly. Brad Pitt makes everything look better. He makes, whatever he's wearing. So that's why he gets a 3. But if Scoot McNairy's wearing, I love Scoot as an actor, it's not a 3, it's a 1 at best, So I think it's the man wearing the clothes gets him the 3.
Right. Which leads into sex appeal, though.
It's Brad Pitt. Yeah. He's a 5. It's sex appeal.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to give him a 5 too.
It's how Brad Pitt's a 5. It's just, listen, I'm not gay, but I'm just saying the man's a handsome man, and it's a fucking 5.
Here's the thing too, is like, there's going to be some on my list where style might be a 5, but sex appeal is not, because
yes, I agree with you.
There's some great looking guys on my list style wise, but no, I would not turn for any of these guys. Brad Pitt, I don't know, like
Brad Pitt and Charles Bronson, it's a yes.
Talk to me when I actually am face to face with
How do you
these
say
guys.
no to Charles Bronson?
He won't let you say no.
No, he won't.
Cool. All right, number 6 on your list.
Number 6 is Jules motherfucking Winfield, played by Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction. Is he on your list or no?
He's not on my list.
He's not? Okay, no. Good. That's a good thing. I like having separate lists. Is kind of nice, right?
Well, I knew he'd be on yours, so I kind of left him off on purpose.
Well, you know what? I had to think about it because I wasn't going to put him on as a duo because I wanted to think who's better. I think Vincent's a fuck up as a hitman, so you won't hear him on my list.
Which is the point of
Vincent. I think Jules is the stronger person, but skill wise, I still think he's only a 2. He's got a cool thing, but they're sloppy. Like there's a lot about their hit before he even decides to walk the path of the righteous, where there's some sloppiness to it. The fact that no one checked the bathroom closed door, no one checked the rest of the apartment to see if there's anyone else.
Right.
You know, that there's a lot of sloppiness.
I can't remember
how this gets done.
I can't remember if you mentioned it on, because you did so many Pulp Fiction episodes.
I did mention, I think we talked about it.
Yeah, I'm positive you mentioned this on one of those episodes. If not, it was one of the other Pulp Fiction episodes I listened to from some other douchebag. But the idea that Marcellus Wallace is kind of like a bargain bin kingpin, like he does not pay his guys very well. Therefore, quality is not on the top of his list. I mean, the motherfucker goes and gets his own donuts. Show me another mob boss kingpin that gets his own donuts, right? This guy's on a budget, and I think that's why the Jules Vincent Marvin situation it makes a lot of sense. Why it's kind of a fuck up, because these guys are actually, they'd have like a 3 on Thumbtack, right? They're not the highest rated, but they're cheap and they get the job done for the most part. And I feel that's why it kind of plays the way it does. And I love that. And of that group, obviously, Jules is the best. But
and I like it because it's realistic, right? Because I think sometimes we'll probably get into some people on the list where it's like they're so fucking good. You're almost mythical. You know what I mean? You're like, it's like, wow, that's, you know, Jules and Vincent feel real. They feel like in the world that they're playing in, that's real. Right. That's a reality. And I like that about them. So, and so for style though, I mean, style/aura 5. Yep. It's fucking Samuel. I mean, like we said, he wears that fucking suit. He is just, he's a bad motherfucker in it. Sex appeal, I put him as a 4. Some people might not like the hair. I think some of the sex appeal is the aura too, right? Like I think that's a lot what it is as well with Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson, I'm sure, you know, he's a handsome man. He's not Brad Pitt level, but that charisma and aura can, you know, that really does give you points. So I like Jules as a 4 for sex appeal.
I'll give him a 4 too, and it makes me wonder, like, would that change if he had the original afro wig that was originally planned for him? You know, because hyperbolically, the Jerry curl was his idea, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that makes all the difference in the world.
I do like the Jerry curl though. There's just something about it. Yeah.
It makes all the difference in the world, and the wallet.
Hell yeah, I've got one.
Of course, no shit.
Of course,
you got a Pam's coffee mug too. You've got so much in paraphernalia.
I mean, your viewers can see it.
Yeah, they can see it. It's right behind
ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay, I like.
And that's just a brief.
All right, so on to the next.
Number 5, numero 5. I've got Leon from The Professional, as it was known here in America before it got changed, and Mr. Jean Reno as my number 5.
Okay, we can talk about this now because that's my number 5 as well.
Oh, cool. All right. Skill. I put him at a 4. He was close to being a 5. Maybe some of this is because, again, he allowed himself to be... You know, it's probably not fair. I just think it's because it's Luc Besson, the way he does certain things. Like some of the people he fought, like I always feel like some of that early thing, he's like fighting the YMCA, like people from the YMCA, right. The Village People. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's not necessarily Leon's fault, but some of the characters he's fighting, you're taking out, you're kind of like, all right. I think he's a 4. He could be a 5. I think him letting Matilda in, that's what drops him. A 5 doesn't let Matilda in regardless.
Right.
Yeah, they're just stone cold. I'm sorry. Sucks to suck. This is how I live my life. I've got to stay secluded. I know that's, you know, obviously we're glad he does because it makes a great movie. But in reality, I think I put a skill at 4 because of that, because he allows himself to be fooled with emotion, and I think that it would bring him down. If the rest of my list, he probably wouldn't fare well against them because of that.
I agree with you, and I think the reason why I agree with so much is I think of Neil McCauley's monologue in Heat, where he says, "Never allow yourself."
That he doesn't follow at the end. Sorry,
right? How he never lets yourself get attached to something that you can't walk away in a second flat when the heat comes around the corner. Like that's a skill set, the detachment, right? And that's the part of the movie that like is so heartbreaking, is because it seems he's mastered the skill of detachment. He sleeps with one eye open in a lazy boy, right? He's mastered the skill of detachment, and then he lets this little girl kind of into his life. Okay, Luc Besson's kind of a fucking freak, and that's the whole origin of this movie. We know that already. We're not going to hold that against the movie as things have come to light over the last, 30 years. But yes, I agree. That does take away from his skill set. Okay, I want to hear your score for style on Leon.
But again, I don't think that's a bad thing because again, a 1, he's supposed to be. He's in New York City. He's supposed to look like he might go mop a gym
Right.
somewhere, or he's cleaning up in the back of the Arby's, or he's a nighttime cleaner at one of the high-rise buildings. He's supposed to look like a nobody.
Right.
So his style is a 1, but it's an intentional style as a 1. He lives very minimalist in his whole lifestyle. So plus they also, the fucking mob, Danny Aiello's character is fucking keeping his money. We don't even know if he even got the fucking money.
Who knows?
That's the other thing that's kind of, about Danny Aiello. You don't know if he's actually got the money or if he's fucking kept it. So he's held to a 1 anyways. But yeah, I think he's a style as a 1. It's kind of cool. It's a cool look for him because it helps with the character, but he's no Jules fucking Winfield, I can tell you that.
I think that in this case, it's a cool, like, little how one bleeds into the other, where a low style actually becomes a higher skill set because he does blend in with the environment. He's not like a cartel hitman, shiny and smooth and silky, right?
Yeah.
Like, he needs to exist in this world as he's taking dudes out. So yeah, I agree with that. Okay, I'm going to give him a 2 because of the glasses. The little wool cap.
The glasses are cool.
The glasses are kind of
He did
cool,
work the
right?
glasses.
And they look great on Matilda as well. Okay, sex appeal. Ooh, this is a sticky one.
I'll give him a 1.
Yeah, I'll give him a 1.
Oh, and only listen, look, I'm not saying I'm fucking Don Juan over here, but Jean Reno, regardless of what movie he's in, he's not, look, I'm sure some people find him attractive, and good for you, but he's just not an attractive man. Like, I mean, when you try to put him up against like a Brad Pitt or even Charles Bronson with the aura, he just doesn't, especially in the outfit, there's just no sex appeal. Like, okay. I know we won't get into how the movie's crafted a bit and it's whatever, some kind of weird fever dream from Luc Besson. That being said, Jean Reno is just not a very attractive man. And again, as Tarantino said to me, like, I'm not saying I'm either. That's why I got a voice for radio.
You got some
fucking
face
balls for radio. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm better looking than Jean Reno. I know that. It may be just a hair, but it's a hair.
Okay, I think it's the accent, though. The accent kind of.
So yeah, but I mean, unless you're blind, I mean,
if you're blind,
right?
that's even better.
The accent still. Someone can have a very demure British accent, but if they look like fucking Snaggletooth, you're like, well.
Well, this is okay. Good point, because what I've never understood is how people considered Gerard Depardieu a fucking sex symbol, right? Like, with that big strawberry nose this dude's had for the last 40 years, and he's just like a big kind of gorilla-looking guy. Yeah, like, okay, Annie McDowell falls in love with him in Green Card. All these women are just melting over Gerard Depardieu. Is it the charm? Is it the accent? I bet the dude smells like cheese and cigarettes. I just don't get it, right? I would take Jean Reno over Gerard Depardieu any day.
Then Jean's a 5.
He's a 5.
To Depardieu.
Okay, at least we can come to an agreement.
I'm a 10. I'm a 10 compared to Depardieu. I'm fucking Brad Pitt over here compared to Gerard Depardieu. I mean, for now, I might use that as a thing. Hey, I'll just show a picture of me. I'm not this guy. And they're like, you know what? You're right. That's actually kind of hot.
Right? Oh my God. All right, so on to your next.
Number 4 is Kane, played by Donnie Yen in John Wick Chapter 4, who will soon be getting his own spin-off coming out next year.
I hope it's better than Ballerina.
I enjoy Ballerina, but for different reasons.
Yeah, right?
No, that sounded weird too, but that's not the reason. Partly, but not. I love Donnie Yen as Kane.
Yeah.
I think Chapter 4 is the better of all of the John Wick films because of Donnie Yen. And he is spectacular in the film. And I'm really excited to see, because he's actually directing his spinoff called Kane. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, Donnie Yen's fucking awesome. He's amazing in Rogue One. He always adds to a film and never takes away from a film, in my opinion. And I mean, you trust him as a martial artist. Like, so I know that our boy Keanu has done a really great job of he's basically the guy he plays now. But Donnie Yen was born that way. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, he was already that way and just got better as he got older, where Keanu had to become that way. So Donnie Yen's a step above, in my opinion. And I love him as Kane.
Well, I think that Donnie Yen is like the Tarantino'd martial artist. If you think about a guy that's getting the stateside recognition later in life, right? Because, dude, I knew him from the 80s and 90s, from the Iron Monkey movies, from the Jet Li movies where he's like the villain or the co-hero, right? Like, he has been around forever. But Jackie Chan and Jet Li pretty much ate up the American audiences for the last 20, 30 years. And now Donnie Yen's got like a name stateside with mass entertainment, like with mass audiences, not just the niche people that carry old martial art movies on their shelf. So yeah, I love that he is getting this latter day appreciation. And yeah, thank you, Star Wars. That was a good Star Wars movie, and you were smart
so good.
for putting him
So
in there,
good,
100%.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, cool. Not on my list. I love that that's on there. I'm kind of pissed I didn't put it on there now. All right, so skill set then.
5. He kills. I mean, well, look, John Wick. There's gonna be a number 5. So apparently, just like in the MCU, no one's dead. But technically, he is the closest to kill him, and then eventually does kill him after he teams up with him a little bit. He ends up putting him down, so he's a 5 there. He felt like the only person who actually could kill John Wick.
Yeah.
Of all the people they've ever, and I've always said this is a problem with the John Wick series, is most of the bad guys that are supposed to try to kill, or he's got to go after, they're fucking paperweights. They're fucking useless. Like they're not, they're not even good villains in a video game. You're like, this is not even first level boss. Donnie Yen's character Kane is the first one you go, okay, he's really going to have to, you're almost like, all right, what bullshit are they going to pull to get John Wick through this one? Because you're kind of like, I don't think he can beat Kane. And Kane is also blind, for the listeners who don't know that. He's playing a more badass version of himself from Rogue One. In this film. He's blind, and he uses that to his advantage. It's so fucking good. So 1, he's blind and is going to kill John Wick. Fucking 5.
100%.
Yeah, it has to be.
Style too, man.
5. Dude, he is so fucking, everything he's wearing, he's fucking crisp. I guess the kids would say, the dude is in style. He's just fucking, he's on point. He all this, some people you go, oh, they look a little too flashy. Donnie Yen earns it with his character. He is flashy and he looks good in it too.
I mean, if he's a 5 and a 5, sex appeal, dude.
There's a 3 for me because I don't know. Like I don't know how to judge Donnie Yen.
I think
for sex appeal.
I think Kane doesn't care about sex, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. Like it's not like a cultural thing, or because he's Asian. I just look at Donnie Yen and I'm kind of like, I don't know which way to go with this. So I put him middle of the road. I'm like, do people find him attractive? He's not ugly. He's not Brad Pitt. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, I don't know. Probably a women would be better at judging him as sex appeal than I can, because he's a conundrum to me, right? Like he's not an ugly guy, but he's not a fucking sex symbol. And so I just don't know where I put him. I mean, if you want to base it on martial arts and his suit, then he's a 5. Yeah. But other than that, like for actual sex appeal, if he's not kicking people's ass or wearing a suit, you're kind of like, I don't know.
He probably cleans up. Are women going to
fall all over him or not? I don't know.
He probably cleans up at the dojo, like.
Well, yeah.
That's probably where they're all at. And so I'm like, okay, like it. All right, on to number 3 on your list.
I have got Vincent, played by Tom Cruise in Collateral.
Okay, Vincent is my number 3 as well. So let's talk about him now.
Look at this.
I know, right?
I'm glad you put him at 3. I think he doesn't. If you want to discuss, I'll discuss how shitty of an ending Michael Mann is for Collateral and Heat, but we can just stick with Collateral.
Yeah, the dude can't land an ending, right?
Thank you for at least. I always feel like I'm just like trying to be contrarian, but I'm not. Like I've watched those 2 movies enough, and I like them so much to the end. And this is gonna sound
just say it, because I embrace the doucheness.
But you and I have watched a lot of film. I would consider us one. We also educated ourselves. We also went to school for some of the stuff. Yeah. So again, I'm not trying to be wearing a beret, smoking a cigar, and thinking I'm better than anybody. I really don't want that to come across. But when you start to learn film language, certain things are kind of not signposts, but they're really good. They kind of, there's acorns laid out for you where things are supposed to go.
Yeah.
And Michael Mann, every time he's playing at the time, he's like playing in the independent era, and he's doing all the independent things until he gets to the end. He's got to go back to his 80s roots where the good guy has to fucking win. And he always sets up these things where like, no, this is how it's going to end. And he sets up these great we root for Tom Cruise's character and we root for Robert De Niro's character in both his movies. And at the end, he takes them from us because they have to lose.
Yeah, it's that old.
He would be, if he wrote Breaking Bad would be one of the worst TV shows in the history of cinema, of TV. Because at the end of this film, We have watched Tom Cruise's character fucking precision. I mean, Tom Cruise is so good in this role. He is fucking killing people left, right, and center, and he is good. He is good. And we have set up that how good he is. And then we get to the end, and he is Jamie Foxx has never fired a gun. This isn't Django. This is Jamie Foxx as a taxi driver in LA. He's never fired a gun. Doesn't even want to get into a fight. They stand within 2 feet of each other with a small metal door between them on a subway. Jamie Foxx fires a gun off maybe 2 or 3 times. Tom Cruise does the same. But Tom Cruise, who has just killed people from distances, from close range, with precision shot groups, doesn't hit Jamie Foxx once. But Jamie Foxx, having never fired a gun, willy-nilly style, not only hits Tom Cruise's character, Vincent, but hits him in a major organ, killing him.
Yeah. Suck
my dick 7 times sideways. That is fucking bullshit. And he ruins the film right then and there. Ruins it with the ending.
He does. I agree with you 100% because Vincent is my favorite Tom Cruise performance of all time.
Oh, I'm up there with you. It's either that or I'm a big fan of Edge of Tomorrow. So I love him in that. But you know what though? That might be his edgiest. It's the most non-Tom Cruise role, and I love it.
And then my second favorite Tom Cruise is Vincent from Color of Money. So his 2 Vincents are my favorite Tom Cruise movies. Okay, so yeah, 100%. Tom Cruise in that movie makes that movie. Jamie Foxx is good. Yes. I don't like hating on Jamie Foxx. He was a good choice. He plays that character well. I can hate on Jada Pinkett a little bit because I just hate Jada Pinkett, for no other reason than just she's just kind of a nightmare as a person, not just performance wise.
Mark Ruffalo's almost unrecognizable in that film.
100%. Peter Berg, that's an interesting one too. But no, like this movie is good. It's so good, but the end sucks. But it is Tom Cruise's. It's every time I see him film like that, it makes me forgive all the bullshit that I've been talking shit about Tom Cruise for years, right? It is just kind of one of those things. The one where he was in Doug Liman's, the Barry, what was that called? The one where he was the cartel pilot, right?
Oh, American
Made. That again redeemed him for some shitty movies I didn't like for the longest time. Like every few years he puts one out and it's like, okay, I can kind of like Tom Cruise again a little bit, and Collateral was the one for me. But that ending sucks. Okay, but let's talk about the skill set, dude. This might be the most precision 5 on my list of Hitmen.
Shooting wise, yes, 100%. Like as far as being with a handgun or any kind of weapon, yeah, he's a fucking 5. Which is why the ending's so bullshit. Because his shot group he is fucking deadly.
Right.
He's what John Wick trained with to be him, right? I mean, because he's not doing any fancy gun stuff. He is dropping people with just like in precision. I mean, you barely can get a word out of your mouth, and he's got 2 bullets in your forehead and 1 in your chest, and he's going home with your girlfriend. Like he is that fucking good and quick, right? Like he's a Wild West gunslinger. Yeah. Right? Like if he was in the Wild West, he would be Billy the Kid, all of them would be in trouble because he is that fucking good and quick.
100%.
Yeah,
okay.
He's a 5.
Style, bro.
I gotta go 5.
I gotta go 5.
It may be a light gray suit, but Tom in the silver hair, the silver fox look, he's killing it. He's killing it with that look. Mm-hmm.
I'm 44 years old and I still only have like 3 hairs. I've been waiting for my silver fox era so I can be Vincent. Like that's what I aspire to be.
Yes.
Like how many fucking more years till I get the Vincent hair? Either Vincent
and you've got nice hair, so you're gonna.
Oh, thank you.
But now you gotta go to gun too, though. You're gonna have to do the whole look. Like you can't not.
I'm just gonna wear a gray silk suit.
You're gonna have to. You have to now.
Yeah, like
one day your girl's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" You're like, "Listen, I'm Vincent. You call me Vincent from now on. I'm no longer Antonio."
I aspire to be Vincent from Collateral or Corleone in Godfather 3. Pacino's little gray little flat top thing. I'm like, okay, when I hit my 70s, that's the style I'm gonna go for.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Thank you for doing that. All right, man, we're getting to the top of your list. Number 2.
Oh, wait, sorry, we didn't do sex appeal.
Oh, well, anyone's fucking 5, that guy.
Right? Yeah, I think that's our first 555.
Yeah, it is a 555.
Yeah.
Donnie Yen almost had it.
At least on my list, first 555. He did it, yeah.
All right, number 2.
Ooh, number 2 is Alejandro Gillick, played by Benicio del Toro in Sicario.
Nice.
And the reason he jumps Vincent is because Vincent, I believe, was born to do this. Alejandro became this. And I
Yes, I
find
agree.
that his skill in that and what he's able to do and the level at which he's at, like Vincent's killing people on a hit list, but he is going into cartel territory. You know, like he is walking the very, very dangerous path
Yes.
of killing the cartel. And that is balls fucking when he walks into the prison and a guy sees him who's a cartel guy in a prison and he's scared of him. 5. if you're making a cartel capo shit himself, it's a fucking 5.
I agree.
Right? Because the other guys in there, the other 2 guys, they don't give 2 shits about them. He's like, fuck you 2. He's like, no hablo inglés. He's just like, no hablo inglés. And all of a sudden, Alejandro walks in. He's like, hablo inglés immediately. He's like, okay, this guy is the fucking ghost. This guy is the real deal. He's making people shit themselves who normally are tough as fucking nails. You know,
right.
You can cut their insides out and they're not going to fucking say shit. This guy was like, I'll tell you everything and anything you want to know. Keep him away from me. And so Alejandro, 5 for sure.
That's great. Like the juxtaposition that you just said between Tom Cruise, who was essentially, he's a sociopath, right? Mm-hmm. He's got no absolutely. Empathy, no emotion. Mm-hmm. He's just a killing machine. Where this guy, it's almost like the void of love that was taken from him has been filled with rage and revenge. But it's also a hire. He's a hired to do this. So he gets the best of both. He gets to take vengeance and then get paid for it, right?
And what do they say? A man with anything to lose is the most dangerous man you can come across, and he's got nothing to lose.
And he says it.
If he dies, he goes and sees his family. He doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit.
Alejandro's a bad motherfucker. I love him. And Benicio del Toro's spot on with him.
Did he need a sequel? Debatable.
You know what? Without Villeneuve, no. With Villeneuve, yes.
Yeah, that would have been
and I think
big difference.
What's his name has said that as well.
Brolin?
Brolin's like, look, the thing that got sideways is we didn't have Villeneuve. Yeah. There's talk of a third with Villeneuve. There's a talk of a Sicario 3 with Villeneuve. So, yeah.
Well, he likes sequels. You know, he's doing Dunes and Blade Runners and all that shit. So, yeah, why not?
Well, I mean, everyone sucks his dick for Dune. And look, I'm not saying the Dune films aren't good. They are.
Right.
But his Blade Runner and Sicario, in my opinion, are better films. They're just better films
than
the Dunes.
Those
two films I could watch all the time. So if I see Sicario on, I'm in. When you talk about rewatchable, I see Sicario on, I own it too. If that's why I can't even go past it. Like if I click past it, like under HBO, I'm in. I have to now sit there and watch it. I can't not.
Well, and like a lot of people compared it to Heat. Except he knows how to end the fucking movie, right?
Thank you. Yes, he does. Yes, he fucking does. Beautiful film.
What are you giving for style?
A 4. He's got some pretty good outfits, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he looks cool
he
when
wears
he gets
a
in the all black and stuff. He's looking pretty good.
I agree with you that.
Sex appeal is a 2, though. And younger Antonio, Jesus Christ. Younger Benicio, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at he's just he put on a little weight. Look, he's just not as attractive as he used to be. And just
he embraces it. It's like that Gerard Depardieu thing. He's like, this is who I am now, right?
Well, because you know what? He's also a great actor. So whether he's good looking or not, he is fucking performing, and you want to watch him.
Agreed. All right, man. That takes us to your number 1.
It might be yours as well, but he was number 1 the minute I knew this list was coming out. That is Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men by Javier Bardem.
It's my number 1.
And I'm sure there's some people listening right now who are like, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you, folks. He is the only answer at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
He is the only answer. He is death. He's the pale horse. He is death on the pale horse. His whole persona is death. His whole persona is being good at killing. I mean, he killed a woman he didn't have to because he said he was going to. And he was like, all right, how about I flip a coin? She lost the fucking coin. She's dead. He's upset when he doesn't win the coin flip in the fucking gas station.
Yeah.
Anton Chigurh is the scariest hitman. I know Alejandro Glick is the one who gets afraid of Anton. Anton scares everyone on this list, in my opinion. He is that good. I mean, when they say you saw his face and lived, he is that good. And the way he's played by Javier and the way he is in this movie, he is just spooky. I don't know if it's the fucking Beatles haircut and all that, but Javier Bardem, and I mean Javier Bardem's villain that he plays, I forget his name, in Skyfall. I mean, he has two of the greatest villains that are just completely opposite, but are batshit crazy, and you just are fearful of them. And I think Anton Chigurh, he's the gold standard for making a hitman believable, blend into his surroundings, and the scariest, the boogeyman, like the Kaiser Soze. He is the fucking boogeyman. He is the
boogeyman aspect.
Yeah.
The boogeyman aspect is what I think really nails it. And the fact that like he has this moral code in some weird way that is so precise that he will actually turn on his own employers when they break the code themselves. Right. So it means that nobody is safe. And you can't say that about a lot of the people on this list, right? Because some have very strict rules and moral codes. I'd say Vincent's probably the closest to him in the sense of like being a sociopath and like, fuck him, right? But Vincent does have like this weird obsession with whatever the success of Jamie Foxx's life, even though he knows he's going to take it later. Like that is the interest of the story. So, but yeah, no, there's no topping Anton Chigurh.
He doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't even care about the money. He knows where the money is. He can go get it. The point is you're going to bring it to me. Right. I know where you're going to be. Yeah. I mean, as soon as you said top 10, my first one was like Anton's number one. And I'll figure out who's behind him. I was like, Anton's the top of the mountain. And then that's when I made up my things like, okay, how do I rank them with Anton? And I just moved down. Like Anton kills Bill. Anton kills Bill quicker than the bride. That's how good I really feel Anton Chigurh is. He is that bad of a motherfucker. And I love Kill Bill, but he is that bad of a motherfucker for me. So sex appeal is a 1 though. Style's a 2, sex appeal is a 1.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some people that are into that. Not me, but
yeah, look, I get if that's your thing, but I don't think it's weird. I don't think he cares about sex. I think he's literally asexual. Like his love and his orgasmic drive is the death, is killing them, is tracking someone down and taking their life.
I don't even think he thinks himself as human. I think that is definitely a thing. If you saw the Fargo season 3, they have kind of like an emulated version of him, and they kind of dive deeper into that, where their version of Chigurh is a guy who doesn't even consider himself human. In sense, he thinks himself as a human shell that's been taken over by like a demon, right? And that's kind of how this feels without that lore. And it's cool. So yeah. Okay, awesome. Number 1. Okay, so all right, let's go down my list. Okay, so we have the same number 10. My number 9, I have Charlie Baltimore, Gina Davis, and I don't consider it a revenge movie because once her personality flips back to Charlie, she still has a mission, right? She still has a dude to kill, even though there are all these stakes now with Mitch, with her daughter, the life that she left behind. But one thing I'll give Shane Black is he knows how to write some pretty fucking cool characters. Maybe the movie doesn't carry them as well, but the characters are pretty fucking awesome.
That is a fair comment on that.
Yeah, great with characters, okay with plot, okay with dialogue, with a lot of good zingers, right? But no, Charlie Baltimore has always been on the top of my list of like underappreciated assassins.
Oh, agreed.
And just fits that mid 90s kind of like heroin chic style with the little blonde bob, like get out of here, right? So that's my number 9. Skill set, I'm going to put a 4, I think once she's in Baltimore mode, and honestly, she does cooler shit when she's in her coma version of herself.
Yes, when she doesn't realize she's just like reacting.
Right, those motor skills.
She has these reflexes, yep.
Yeah, what would you give her in skill?
I would go with you with the 4.
Nice.
Yep. I think if we were to see more of her, we might see more of her skill set because she's kind of thrown into survival mode at the same time, right? So she's killing, but she's also being hunted at the same time. So it's a combination of having to wake up riding the bike for her.
Correct.
So she's getting into her, she's getting back into form, but she's been dormant for 5-6 years, whatever it ends up being. So yeah, I'd give her a 4 as well.
Interesting that, hey, the bride kind of borrows a lot from Charlie Baltimore, right?
Oh yeah, there's some, absolutely. There's some.
She's not in a coma like the bride was, but there was a daughter. There is a maternal instinct to defend and kill for. So yeah. Style, once she becomes Charlie, 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mom, a 2.
Charlie,
a 5. Yeah,
right.
100%. Yeah.
Which bleeds right into sex appeal. Is there?
She almost gets the 555. She almost gets the 555.
Is there a sexier female assassin than Charlie Baltimore?
What about? I know about more, but Atomic Blonde.
Not on my
Charlize Theron.
Not on my list, but yeah.
No, she didn't make my list either because she's technically working as a government agent. I didn't put government agents really down as because you're being paid to do that. That's your job, right? So that's why Bond and them didn't make it. But Charlize Theron as Atomic Blonde, she's pretty sexy. Too.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
And she has sex with a girl in that movie too.
Yeah, she does. I forgot about that. Yeah, how did I forget about that?
Yeah. I know.
All right. Okay, so moving on to my number 8, I've got Jeff Costello from the film Les Samurai, played by Alain Delon.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Jeff is not a good hitman. So as a skill set, he gets like it too. He essentially gets identified right away, right? And the rest of his movie is kind of running away.
Yeah, that is fair.
Where he does win for me is style. That dude wears a suit. It's Alain Delon for one, right? Yeah. That dude wears a fedora like get the fuck out, which bleeds right into sex appeal. So I give him a 5 on style and I give him a 4 on sex appeal.
I would agree. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, he's more substance than he is the rest, right? Like he's like, damn, he's a good looking guy. Like, can he kill anybody? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, agreed.
But he looks good doing it.
He does look good.
He looks good failing.
Right. And the fact that he only kills one dude, okay, that's fine. A hitman's a hitman, right? He doesn't need a long laundry list of people to kill like some of the other ones. A hitman is a hitman. He just wasn't really good at it. Okay, my number 7, I went anime on this one.
Ooh.
I went Duke Toho, a.k.a. Golgo 13, from the 1980s anime and its subsequent sequels. Did you ever watch The Professional?
I did not.
So...
wait, you were talking about the animes you're talking about?
Yes.
Not the movie, The Professional.
Correct.
Yes, okay. No, I don't think I've ever seen
Dude,
this.
you should check it out.
I'm going to have to now.
He's like the Japanese George Clooney, right? But it's anime. And all this guy does is snipe people from a mile away and bang hot chicks. That's it. That's all he does. Like he doesn't have a skill set in terms of being able to sneak around and hide because he's all about distance shots, right? He lines people up from through buildings and across the ocean and yachts and stuff like that. He's not really that good at hand-to-hand combat either, but he's a distance shooter. And then afterwards, he goes bangs a chick in a car, in a helicopter, in a mansion on the beach. That's all it is. And hey, what more could you ask for? So since you have no frame of reference,
from long range, he kills pussy up close.
Frame of reference, dude. Since you don't really have one, this is, apart from Vincent, my only 555.
Oh, okay.
Because
I mean, if he's banging hot chicks and killing from that distance, it does seem like a 5. And when does anime not make somebody look cool?
That's the
right. Like
that's the rub, right? The caveat to that is like I'm gonna draw this fucker as cool as I can, right?
Yeah,
it's not real, but it's 5 out of 5 because they made every intent of making it 5 out of 5 on all 3 levels. Go back and watch it. It's pretty.
We're gonna have to now.
Okay, let's see. That was my number 7, right? Yes. Okay, my number 6. I have Nikita Marie from La Femme Nikita. You mentioned her already.
Yes,
we pushed her back.
Yeah, you pushed it to this.
Correct.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, because it's a great story. Of course, Luc Besson loves hitmen, hit women, hit people. It's a lot of it's pretty much his bread and butter, right? Apart from Fifth Element, it's all has to do with either transporters, hitmen, assassins. He's got a niche.
He does.
I love
and other niches, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, it's that French thing, dude. I swear to God.
Yeah.
What I love about her, and apologies to Bridget Fonda, you don't make the list. You tried. I think you were better than the movie you were in, the remake of it, Point of No Return, but you can't top the original. The whole punk.
That's why Charles Bronson's my Arthur Bishop, just like it's yours.
Right, dude.
You just can't beat it. I mean, he's that good. You can't beat the guy.
The whole punk rock rebel attitude that gets brainwashed and trained into this high profile killer with a little bit of that punk rock attitude just really works for me. And Jean Reno at the end as the cleaner. Okay. So skill set, she's kind of sloppy all the way throughout. So she's not that great, but that's okay.
I gave her a 2.
I gave her a 2 as well.
Because she's also new, right? Like this is her first time in the world. You give her, if she, obviously if she had stayed that way throughout, you give her 5-6 years, she's going to be up there. But she's literally like a bird being pushed out of the nest, learning to fly as she goes. It's even her first assassination is the final test, so
Yeah.
things don't go great. She barely gets that. She barely kills the one person when she's in the bathroom like that. So yeah, look, she's a work in progress, but yeah, she's only a 2, and that's being polite. That's being nice.
And like her company is shit, right? Like it's not like they pay her well. She's essentially slave labor. Like if you don't do this job,
she's on the Temu or Shein.
Right, we're turning you into cat food. That's what Miguel Ferrer says in Point of No Return, but that's essentially what they're going to do. If you're going to die if you don't do this job. So, bad business model in my opinion. All right, so I give her 2 as well. Style though, hey, I think she's a solid 4. She's as stylish as they allow her to be, right?
Mm-hmm. Even her punk rock look was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, so she went from punk rock and then being able to wear like the black dress as women call it. So that's a big style swing.
Yeah, and for sex appeal, I'm going to give her a 4 because not everyone can be Charlie Baltimore.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so on to my number 5. Let's see. I've got James Spader in 2 Days in the Valley.
Oh, James Spader. Oh, what a great movie. I've always felt like James Spader's always in an asshole era. It's just the difference of how much of a level it is. Like it's like young and brash asshole to like old and reserved asshole. I just feel like James Spader plays the consummate asshole. Right. And he's great at it.
And then they like try to like clean him up a little bit and, make him like the charming asshole, but like that late 80s to mid 90s asshole phase where, they not only was an asshole, but he also got laid a lot too, And I'm not saying that James Spader's a sexy dude, but they make him.
He is. He is banging Charlize Theron in this film,
and Deborah Kara Unger in Crash. Like he gets it. He gets it for sure. I just love that he has a totem. He has a gimmick, and I love a hitman with a gimmick, and it's the stopwatch. Right? He's like, when this watch hits a minute, that's how much time you got.
But I don't think it goes for 60 seconds. I think it's like a 2.
But like,
look at the timing. The timing is loose. Don't worry about it. Don't get caught up in the minutia. Just enjoy the film.
But maybe that's his thing. Maybe he's just like, hey, you know what? You think you have this time, but you don't. Or maybe you think you have less time than you do. Like it's fucking with him. I kind of like that, right? And he gets to bang Charlize Theron in her little white cat suit. So yeah. Skill set. He doesn't really have much of a skill set that we see other than he gets into places and wakes people up and says they have 60 seconds to live,
Yeah,
I give him a 3.
I'll give him a 1.
You gave him a 1?
Oh, wow. You're being nice. Because in the movie, he sets up Dan Aiello and stuff, and he still doesn't kill him when he blows up the car.
This is true.
So I'm like,
that's
a 1. It's like, you know what? He's more, like I said, he's more style than he is substance.
Agreed. Style, though, I'll give him a 4.
Oh,
He's definitely 90s.
Yeah, he's looking good in that. He's still holding on to it's like a late 80s, early 90s look. He's really put together. The glasses help too. I think he's definitely a stylish killer for sure.
Yeah. And as for sex appeal, okay, I don't want to give him a 5, but he nails Charlize Theron. So
I know that does give you that's. I mean, if you're sitting on the fence at a 4, it does feel like that's the point that pushes you over to the 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it as a 4.
If you're bagging her,
yeah, I'm gonna keep it as a 4 because I also think that there's like some psychological hold on her. Right, there's some abuse going on there. He's definitely gaslit the fuck out of her. She is attached to like a trauma bond kind of thing. So. That works. I know uglier dudes that have been able to get hotter chicks using that same method. I do not condone it.
Gerard Depardieu.
Gerard Depardieu, but that's what he does. So there you go. Yeah. Okay. All right. So next on my list, I'm to my number 3 now. I've got Forrest Whitaker in Ghost Dog.
Oh yeah, that's a good. It was hard to keep him off my list.
I put it on there because Jim Jarmusch is a fucking enigma of a filmmaker. And who casts Forrest Whitaker as a samurai quoting Zen fucking hitman with a sword in New York City up against the mob?
The same guy who cast Johnny Depp as a accountant turned gunslinger in one of my favorite westerns of all time,
Dead Man. Right. Beautiful.
Those 2 movies, I mean, I know people like Jim Jarmusch. Those 2 movies are my favorite movies of his. They're just so out in left field, but so fucking good. They're just so fucking good.
Forrest Whitaker for me is always kind of like a joke. I always joke about Forrest Whitaker in movies. Like when he shows up in Rogue One, I'm like, okay, you're the only one with a big funny accent, dude. Okay, that's fine. You won your Oscar a couple years ago. You can have your big funny accent in this. I like him when he's a side character, like
yes, yeah.
Good Morning Vietnam, or the dude with the cross eye in Color of Money, right? When he just kind of pops up into things. The doctor who makes Mickey Rourke go from ugly to handsome in Johnny Handsome. That's my Forrest Whitaker. That's the one I like. So to give him this leading role in this bizarre fucking movie, dude, 10 out of 10 Jim Jarmusch for having the balls to do that, but it also earns a higher spot on my list because it is so out of the norm.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's a really good movie. So many people don't know enough about it. I think that's probably the only slight to the thing is no one knows enough about them.
That's true.
About those films.
And rightfully so. They're cooler because they're unknown and hidden gems.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, people hear Jim Jarmusch, you think, oh, he's like pre A24. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like he feels like he'd be an A24 director now. But yet those two films, so many people just, who's this? And man, they fucking kill. They kill.
Okay, so skill set. I'm going to give him a 4, because he doesn't have the agility.
3, 4, yeah.
But he does. I feel like he almost belongs in the John Wick universe if we really think about it, right? If you think about,
what, you're not wrong.
If you think about all
he would definitely be a character there now.
Yeah, all the goofy fucking assassins and like the Lawrence Fishburne character, he makes a lot of sense in that universe. Maybe I'm going to create that cinematic universe right now in my head. Is that Ghost Dog exists in the Continental universe?
He runs one that we don't realize. He's worked his way to run one.
I like that. Okay, so style. I'm gonna give him a solid 4. He tries. He has his own style, the uniqueness of it, right? The fact that he does have like this samurai.
Yeah, he's got like a Wu-Tang look to him, but the samurai, like he plays so against type of what you think of a hitman. Right? Like if people see the picture of him, they're thinking, oh, he's a gangbanger. But it's like, no, he's so much more than that. But yet he does have a gangbanger aesthetic look to him. But he's quoting the Hagakure. I agree with you. 4 for style because it's against type of all the people we've talked about. He's against type. Like Shiger looks like shit because he doesn't care. This is actually, I think this is him blending into surroundings, right? Because would you think a person who looks like him is a world-class assassin?
And again, like he kind of does have, I'm not going to say the boogeyman mythos behind him, but he is like a street spirit, right? He's like a street legend in his own world.
Yes,
and so that definitely adds to that. And sex appeal, it's Forrest Whitaker. I like the braid, so I'm going to give it 2.
I was going to go 2 as well. Yeah. Listen, and that's good for him.
That's good for him.
That's a strong 2. All right.
All right. Okay. So my last one before we already talked about Shiger, my number 2 on the list. I've got Molly, played by Joe Don Baker in the film Charlie Varick. So he is essentially the mob hitman that they send out to find Walter Matthau and Andy Robinson after they've knocked out this little mob bank in the sticks. Now, I think, my personal opinion, is that Anton Chigurh is kind of an emulation of the Molly character, just made more dangerous. Joe Don Baker shows up in this really just tight camel skin suit and a big 10-gallon hat. But he's a psychopath. And he's kind of like a misogynist killer too. Like he's got these weird tendencies to him that he's charming, but he's also dangerous and a total sociopath. Now, he's not as menacing as Chigurh is, but every time I watch Charlie Varick and I watch Molly, I'm like, there's no way that the character of Anton is somewhat derived from this kind of aesthetic. It's almost like a Terminator aesthetic, right? Like, he just keeps on coming, and the beautiful ending
Cormac,
to a movie.
It could have been one of his movies.
Exactly.
Cormac, the writer, it could have been a movie. He's like, you know what? I'm going to design my Chigurh partially on this prototype from him. That's a very good chance that could happen.
Yeah, I think so 100%. And Charlie Varick, it's not that it's an unknown movie. I think the fact that why people have kind of gotten into it a lot lately is, Tarantino's talked about it. The Pure Cinema guys talk about it. It feels like a Charles Bronson movie, but instead of Bronson, you got Walter Matthau. And that kind of playing against type is what really makes that movie work for me. The last of the old professionals, essentially, is his whole thing, and his last ride out. and it feels very much like the mechanic. It feels very much like Mr. Majestic, but it's not. It's Walter Matthau, and Molly makes the movie. So I put him at number 2 because of how much I like the movie, because of how much I like this character, but also I can't put Anton at number 1 if I don't have what I think his inspiration was.
Oh, that's
right
that's
below
fair. That's a good. I like that. That's a good one. That's good. Mm-hmm.
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so we just went through a shit ton of Hitmen, and there was lots more. So how about we take a minute or two and throw out some honorable mentions, but also the conversation in the Acolyte chat group for the Church of Tarantino podcast. Some of your collaborators threw some out that I might have had like on the back burner, and a couple that I didn't. So we should give those a call out as well. But did you have any honorable mentions first that didn't make your final list?
I mean, you could put anyone from the Divas on there,
Right.
The Bride, Bud. But again, that was the reason that they didn't make it is obviously Bud gets assassinated.
Yeah.
He doesn't do assassination. And the Bride's in a revenge. But obviously they were bad motherfuckers, and Bill as well. But we never get to see them be assassins.
Right. Other than the
I would
church
put maybe
massacre.
even John Wick. But John Wick, for all those who don't know, there's one assassination John Wick goes on that he's hired for. And the woman kills herself before he kills her. He never assassinates anybody. He basically is defending his life or getting revenge for all the things that have happened. So while he may be this amazing assassin at some point, we never see him. Even when he does Ballerina, he doesn't assassinate anybody. So, yeah. So John Wick, I mean, you could put him out there because he's a cool character, but he assassinates 0 people in his life. So
everything is all
kind of
stories.
useless.
It's legends. It's the Baba Yaga.
Yes, he's legend, but yeah. So John Wick and the Bride are in the same category. They have this great mythology behind them, but we never actually see them. It's like watching a pickup game with Michael Jordan. If you don't see him play on the court, it's just a pickup game, and that's what we get to see with them. They're doing pickup games. They're never in their fucking uniform, on in between the stripes. So yeah, those are 2. I'm trying to think of some others. How about this? I'll leave it at those 2 because there's other people may have said stuff, and I'd like to hear what they said. That way I don't ruin it.
Okay, that's good. So I had a couple honorable mentions, but most of them got listed in the list from the Acolyte. So I put Jeffrey, played by Chow Yun-fat from The Killer.
Yes, yep.
Great.
And I didn't pick him because he goes and he turns himself around to help people.
Exactly.
So.
But there is a hit.
But it's Chow Yun-fat,
and that's why he didn't make my top 10 list for sure. I put, just because I was kind of silly about it, I put Chuck Barris in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. But we also don't know if he's necessarily talking shit, if he's really a hitman. Yeah, but on that same note, I think that Julia Roberts in that movie is a pretty good hitman.
And the guy who directed George Clooney, he's also plays a really good hitman in The American, which is a good movie. But he doesn't. That's not enough of a thing that goes on in my opinion.
The American, to me, like I love him in that movie. I'm just not a big fan of the movie. But if you liked his character in The American, that's pretty much The Professional, Go-Go 13, the anime.
Oh, okay.
I feel like The American is like that answer to that anime character. And Clooney was a perfect person to play someone like that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go to the group now. So,
all right, the
Acolytes. Ian and Harry's said Ken and Ray from In Bruges.
Fuck ups, but I like them. It's a great movie.
Yeah, and it kind of counts.
Fuck ups, complete fuck ups.
It kind of counts because Brendan Gleeson is kind of there to kill Colin Farrell. You don't know that till later.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that Ray Fiennes comes out and gets called a cunt a bunch of times, is probably the highlight of the movie. So I liked that one. Ian also says all the hitmen from Smokin' Aces.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on in that finale.
What's your opinion?
Everyone's shooting at everybody.
What's your opinion on Smokin' Aces?
Fun movie.
That it?
Big time Tarantino ripoff. But not in a bad way. Like it's an enjoyable film. Like it's got its moments, but it doesn't know whether to be serious or funny. Right? Because I mean, it gets bloody at the end when we got the sniper thing going. Like it's bloody at the end. There's a lot of interesting things.
This is true.
I actually think it's one of Ryan Reynolds' better performances, like actual like acting, not just being a fucking wise ass.
Yeah, I like his old ending.
Like I think he gets lost in it, but he really puts in an emotional performance. Like when his partner gets shot, like you really believe that Ryan Reynolds is heartbroken that his partner's making it. Right, so it's not Ryan Reynolds just doing dick and ball jokes, which he's good at, but
you gotta have a gimmick.
I'm not a fan of Common. I'm going to be honest with you. I've said this on my other podcast when we talked about John Wick 2. Common, give him his flowers for him being an artist and in the music world. Congrats to him.
Yeah.
Good for him. As an actor, it's just Common. Like, so you can say the same about Jason Statham and The Rock, but they have a different charisma and you believe them. But I see Common, I'm like, who does Common owe? Who owed Common a favor?
Right.
Like, that's, I always feel like how did Common get in the movie? Who did he give money to help produce? Like, how is he in this film? It's just Common. And maybe he's probably a really awesome dude, right? But like, just as an actor in the film, I'm like, I get taken out of the movie, like, oh, fucking Common's in this? I'm like, Jesus Christ. No one else, like Michael Jai White was not available. Like, we couldn't get a real action hero to fill this role. Like, there's missing people. So
he could have brought some flavor to it because Common is kind of one note.
yeah, he's Common, right? Like, it's just like, I know it's terrible, but it's like, it's Common.
Yeah, my biggest issue with that movie, man, is that movie feels like a series of Grand Theft Auto cutscenes, right?
Oh,
it's just,
yes, that's a good point.
It's just a bunch of fuckery and like these crazy characters and like there's explosions and shit. And Jeremy Piven, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with Jeremy Piven, but that movie,
me too,
feels like just a whole slew of Grand Theft Auto cutscenes, like, and then it ends, right? So I have issues with Smoking Aces.
Even the reason why they're there to do all this stuff doesn't seem like when John Wick is finally, they're going to kill him because he's been excommunicated.
Yeah.
That makes more sense with all these people trying to kill him than why they're going after Jeremy Piven. Like, you just kind of like, it feels like his entourage, who he treats like shit, would have already killed him. You know, like you feel like they wouldn't be putting their life on the line for him. So, yeah, I know what you mean. It's like I said, it's if you're bored on a Friday night, it's winter, it's February, and you haven't seen it before, it's a fun watch. I mean, you're going to get all kinds of explosions and death, and like if that's your thing, like you like a bloodlust movie, then go for it. If you're looking for something that's going to suddenly elevate the action genre or the mystery genre, thriller genre, that's not going to be the movie. But you'll have a fun time, at least if you don't care.
Okay, you know what movie I want to see? I want to see Smoking Aces, ADHD karate boner kid versus karate pancake girl from Cabin Fever.
I forgot about Karate Boner Kid. Oh, until you said it, I just like, oh my God.
I think I might get on ChatGPT and ask them to make that scene.
That is great. Oh, that is a valuable use of your time there, sir. Yes, right. Karate Boner.
Yeah, who gives...
How's that not become a band name? How is that not like a
kid?
punk band?
It sounds like a ska band, honestly. So...
a lot of trombone.
Oh, shit. So Sean, a.k.a. Scareflare from the group, says Killer Joe. And I was like, oh, fuck. Why didn't I think of that?
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
McConaughey's good in that one. Yeah, I like McConaughey in that.
Like when McConaughey turns the evil on, dude, like he needs to do more of that. I know he's all into like this kind of like self-help preservation mode right now and green lights and all that bullshit, but dude knows how to turn on the evil. I want to see more of that.
Oh, he does. He does. What's the movie? Have you seen Frailty?
Yeah, 100%.
I love Frailty. Another underrated film. A very underrated
R.I.P. Bill Paxton. And then the last one in the group, Mr. Craig Cohen says,
Mr. Cohen.
Martin Blank from Grosse Point Blank. Okay,
yes.
so like,
fun.
I had this in my like maybes. He is there on an assignment. I think the hitman part of it is more of just like the plot device to get him into this going back to the high school reunion. He does do some cool shit. He just didn't really hold a candle to the top 10. So he didn't make my top 10, but it's definitely an honorable mention.
I think it's the comedy aspect.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a fun movie. It's a great movie for, why am I blanking? Who plays it? Why am I just completely blanking? On Cusack being, it's completely against type. It's a really great way to lean into the Pulp Fiction phenomenon without being a Pulp Fiction ripoff.
Agreed, dude.
Right? Like a really smart way of having a new version of a Hitman movie. But I think the comedy aspect is what probably holds it back as far as you thinking them as a real Hitman, right? Because it's Cusack playing this really, it's like a rom-com Hitman movie. Also coming of age story. People, the early Gen Xers after their high school days in the 80s having to reunite. Like it's got a lot of cool things in it, but I think because we see it as a comedy, I think that's what holds it back, right? Yeah. Like how do you put them up against like a Vincent or a Shigura or, all these other people when you're kind of like, there's a lot of, it's mostly for laughs. And then we get some cool action in it.
Right. I mean, the villain's
think
Dan
that's
Aykroyd. What are
holds
you going
it.
to do? You know?
Yeah, right. But like I said, it's even a great twist on a rom-com.
Yeah, no.
It's a great
movie.
I mean, talk about genius way of one. It's not even considered a Tarantino-esque film.
Yeah.
That's how good they were at being a Tarantino-esque film without ever getting itself labeled as one.
Dude,
right? Like, because you're totally leaning into what the flair of what Pulp Fiction is able to do, but it's completely own laurels, and people completely pass it by that it could be anything like that. And I mean, that's maybe one of the best. It's basically Tarantino to Tarantino, right? Like, it took what a Tarantino reference could be and did its own thing, and people completely fucking didn't even realize exactly what they were doing. I think chef's kiss and a tip of the hat to that fucking movie.
Agreed. And if you think about it, it's like right now at the New Bev, they just played the double feature of Grosse Pointe Blank and Romy and Michelle, which I played that one in my movie club too. And then fucking Romy and Michelle has a closer Tarantino connection than Grosse Pointe Blank does, because it exists in the same universe with Big Kahuna Burger and shit. So anyway.
Yep. Red Apple.
Yeah,
crazy.
I digress. Yeah. Okay, cool. This was a fun conversation.
Yes, I love that kind of stuff.
The perfect dude to bring on to the show to talk about Hitman.
I appreciate it.
I mean, like, because here's the thing. Like, we talked about it on your show. You've talked about it on your show a lot. Tarantino made Hitman cool again, right? Like, we went through
I mean, there's a Hitman movie of the week, it felt like, in the 90s.
After him, 100%. And there were Hitman movies before, but they were dull and dry as fuck. Like, Abel Ferrara made some. They were, what they were. But Tarantino made Hitman fun and cool. And hey, Hitmen, they're just like us. They just kill people, right? That's just their job. At the end of the day, they're blue collar dudes, It's so funny that so many people rode that wagon for a decade or more.
Well, then he goes and he imitates himself by then I made them cool. What if I make them hyper realistic, like almost like cartoon characters, and I give you Kill Bill,
100%.
right? Like, it's like Hitmen like on acid, or I'm sorry, on steroids, just fucking all over the place. And you forget about it, right? Because we're not wearing the black suits anymore, and it's just so stylized and hyper real, and you fall in love with it. And then he's like, you know what? I'm now going to do something different, and I appreciate that, right? Like now you could say he's a bounty hunter, right? He went from hitmen to bounty hunters, he really. So yeah, that's what's fun. That's what's fun about his movies is they're a fun time, and some of the stuff we've talked about.
Yeah,
if you create good characters and you know how to end your fucking movie, Michael Mann, you can have a lot of fun. We've gone from some serious people to some movies that aren't as serious, but yet they've created some really indelible characters for us that, whether Tarantino deserves some of the credit or not, or some of the movies we talked about earlier are helped bring alive Jules and Vincent for us. You know what I mean? It's always fun when you can look at cinema in its totality and see when people say, oh, this person or this person, all they do is copy and paste. Like, you don't fucking know what you're talking about. I've seen copy and paste. I'll show you Boondock Saints. I'll show you copy and paste.
Least favorite movie of all time, Boondock Saints.
Yeah, you could have put them in there. No, they're not hitmen though, are they? They're just two brothers who might be gay. I don't know. For each other. It's whatever. Maybe the second or most homoerotic scene in the cinematic history when they sit up covered wet, whatever. Anyway, see the movie or don't. But when you get to look at back at cinema, and as you get older, and I think that's what's fun. You get to, I don't know, it just feels like we've lived in these worlds, right? Yeah. Like, it just feels like it's a part of our DNA. Like, these characters, Vincent, the reason not Vincent Vega, but Vincent from Collateral. The reason we have such an adverse reaction to the ending is because how much we love the character and what was created for us, right? Like, the majority of the story, we're so on this ride. And so movies, whether you like movies, some of the movies we talked about or not, these characters have the test of time. So it's fun to do a show like this and go back. And like when I do it on my show, it's fun to go back and talk about them, because at the end of the day, for me, podcasting has always been the true romance moment where they go after the movie and get pie and have a conversation. I think that's why I love this and being on shows like this.
I appreciate you. Yeah. And you have a great show. I want to tell people right now, go subscribe to the Church of Tarantino. Link will be in the notes of this. It'll be in the notes of the YouTube episode. You got other sub shows as part of the church. You've got your Inglorious Blue Balls. You've got Dropping a Bruce, which just dropped this week. So go ahead and take a moment and fill people in on like what you got, because right now you're going to be riding this wave of I interviewed Quentin,
yes,
but there's other stuff too.
You know, I think, well, before I tell you that, I think the I Interview Quentin thing, what it has done is, for people who don't know, I haven't really said this on my show, I was going to end the show at the end of this year.
Right.
I had lost some of the joie de vivre of it. I felt I probably doing way too many series this year with 4 of them. I felt I was burning myself out. I felt like I was just spinning my wheels. And it wasn't because I was trying to get Tarantino, because that's wasn't the case ever. I hit the 75,000 download mark, and I thought, all right, I bet if I do another season, I can probably get to 100,000 by the end of that 5th season. So I was like, okay, but I'll tone it back to 2 episodes.
Right.
By week, like I originally started. And then on the fucking blue, Tarantino. So now I feel this new invigoration because he's listening.
Yeah.
Right. So now I feel like this, not only that, but even my guess, I feel like I owe it more energy and more thought, because now the person who holds the key to the whole kingdom of whether the shit I think is right or wrong is him. I at least want to sound like I think I know what I'm fucking talking about. So if I ever get another chance to talk to him again, he'll at least be like, hey, you're still at 40% right rate. I'm like, that's still a pretty good number.
Yeah, right.
So, but anyways, so I do the Church of Tarantino. Currently in this season, I have 4 series. I have Ranking Tarantino, which probably the time this drops, Mr. Palacios will be on. We'll be talking fight scenes, top 5 in the Tarantino verse. I do a Bible study, which each month we take a different movie and a different scene, and we go through it piece by piece. The very first one of this season, Mr. Palacio was on. We did the opening scene of Reservoir Dogs, and that was fun. Then I have my Inglourious Blue Balls, which is where we talk about all the projects that Tarantino has announced. We go through them line by line, trying to figure out why they did and didn't, why they were announced and why they didn't come to fruition. And then I do a Tarantino-esque film review, which I've gone through a list of like 250. I've narrowed them down, of movies that people say are Tarantino-esque, and I go through those. Mr. Palacios was also on that. We did Hard 8 together. That is not a porn name. That is a PTA movie. I just want to make sure we clear that up, being in Utah and all. And then I have some side shows that I do from my buddy Steve. I have a Men of Action podcast where actually we're about to start season 3. And in that, we are taking a brand new look at action movies. We are doing men and women on a mission movies, and we are actually dissecting the missions, not the film. We are going through the mission. Is it a good mission? Did they succeed the mission? What was the fuck ups? All of that stuff. So we've actually found a new way to kind of look at some action films and have fun with that. And then, anyone who doesn't know, I am almost finished. I have another 9 to go. But Steve and I have decided to do all 40 of Bruce Willis's straight to demand movies that he did. Whew.
It's a tough one. That's a slogger.
That is a tough one. However, I do feel that it has helped me have a better film knowledge, because it's easy to watch the great, like put on Pulp Fiction, the fucking cake. Mm-hmm. Put on A Day to Die and make it through. Right? Like now you have to know the bottom to know what can be
to appreciate the top. Okay.
You have to. You know what I mean? It's like you don't know winning without losing.
This is true.
You don't know love without loss, right? So you have to have the yin and the yang. Otherwise I think you just get what we have now, which is everybody thinks every movie's great. It's like, no, there's a lot of movies that are good, but some people are over the moon over some movies like, this isn't that great. Like, I don't know what everyone else is watching.
Right.
I start to feel like maybe I don't know what's going on anymore, but I feel like everyone's like, oh my God, this is great. And that's great. It's like, well, this got a lot of flaws. There's a lot of holes. We're not going to talk about that. Like, I don't think we have enough discussion like you and I do, where you sit there and you're willing to say, I like a movie, but here's some flaws in this fucker. And this is what's wrong with it. And I think everyone's like, no, it's either great or you're an asshole. And it's like, that's not film discussion.
Well, and God bless you for doing shows like that, because I have no intention of watching those Bruce Willis movies. So I get to listen to your show where you get to do it for me and paraphrase, right? Like,
it is a good show, I think, because I think Steve and I, we laugh a lot. Like, we make fun of, like, we have a lot of fun with it, right? Because it is hard to watch a cinematic hero of mine and Bruce Willis
do shit.
I mean, and he's a great actor. And look, to watch him deteriorate, it's like I haven't had anyone. I had my grandmother die of dementia, but I didn't have to watch it. My grandfather had to. So I have been very lucky so far not to have a family member die of dementia. But this is what it's like watching. It's like watching someone slip away on screen in real time. And it's kind of like, man, that's your hero. It's like watching your favorite athlete stay too long and then they can't do anything. Like, they look like, really painful out there on the field. And you're like, oh man, she should have retired 2 years ago. That's what it's like. And so, we have a lighthearted commentary about the movie, and then, it's.
You give everyone a great variety of things to listen to, and especially like you have an audience, and that's the important thing. And that's what I try and do. Like, I know I have a very specific audience. You don't attract a lot of outsiders into the topics that you're talking about. And guess what? No one fucking cares. We don't want you. Keep your shitty opinions to yourself, right? Like, we don't want tourists.
Show up because you want to hear it.
Yeah, show up because you want to hear it. Join the discussion.
Disagree for free if you want. Yeah, join the discussion. But have an educated opinion, as my friend Steve would say. Everyone doesn't need to have an opinion. You need an educated opinion, because back in the old days, in the 80s and 90s, if you know what you're talking about, people would tell you to shut the fuck up.
Right. Well, we got lots of people in the group that will tell people to shut the fuck up too. So.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. All right, everyone. So like I said, please like, rate, review, subscribe to the Church of Tarantino and all of the subsidiaries of it. Please like, rate, and review The Cultworthy on your favorite podcatcher, on YouTube. Subscribe, leave comments, suggestions. I've been getting a lot of listener suggestions of movies they want me to cover, so I will get those on the list. I'm trying to reach out to some more exciting guests to talk to, even more exciting than this fucking guy who got to talk to Tarantino in person. Am I jealous? Do I sound jealous? I'm trying not to. Anyways.
Listen, you know what? I got the guess, you got the looks, so there we go, all right? Listen. The guy's got a 5 for sex appeal when it comes to. He has a face for TV. That's why he does YouTube. That's why hopefully there'll be some kind of special makeup and lighting that my bald ass.
I'll put a filter on you. I'll make you look like
perfect. AI me.
I'll make
AI
you look like Jason Statham. How about
that?
Beautiful. All right, Scott. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, sir.